These are the answers for the first day practice for track out practice. And today we were working with subtraction across zeros. Hopefully you worked out these problems. I'm going to run through, show you how to work them out. If you had any problems with them, feel free to slow down or stop the video at different points. Or if you got them right, that would be awesome too. So looking at your problems, first one we had was 3,000 minus 2,345. This was very similar to the sample ones that I had up above. So remember that you're starting off when you're doing these, it's kind of a little bit backwards, but you're starting on the left-hand side of the problem more than the right-hand side of the problem, and you're working your way back. So you borrow, you need your first number is the only number you can borrow from, so you put a 2 there. This 0 then becomes a 10. This is a 0, so you have to borrow from it, so it becomes a 9. This is a 10. Since this is a 0, you have to borrow from it, becomes a 9. So your ones column then is the only one that ends up as a 10. So here's what this one looks like. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 3 is 6. And then the 2 and 2 cancel each other out. That's not the neatest 5, but your answer is 655 for the first one. For your second one, you have 7,100, or 7,100 minus 1,564. This one's a little different because instead of having zeros all the way across, you can actually start borrowing at the 1. So we're going to cross off the 1. We're going to make it a 0, which makes this a 10. Okay, but then we still have nothing here. So we're going to cross it off, change it to a 9, cross this off, make it a 10. So 10 minus 4 is 6, 9 minus 6 is 3. And now when we get back over here, we still have work to do, because we have 0 minus 5, and again, we can't do that. So now we have to borrow from the 7, make it a 6, make the 0 a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. And then 6 minus 1 is 5. So our final answer there is 5,536. It was a little tricky. Okay, 3. We have 8,000 minus 4,565. Again, this is one where we're borrowing across zeros again. So we're looking at our largest place value spot, which in this case is thousands. We're crossing it off. We're going to make it a 7. And now we're going to start working our way back. So that's a 10, but next door is a 0. So we're borrowing all the way across until we get to our 1s, and that's going to be our 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 5 is 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. So our final answer is 3,435. On 4 again, we're subtracting thousands. So we have 2,000 minus 1,987. So again, we're starting from the left side. We're going to cross it off, make it a 0. That has to become a 9. That has to become a 9. We're going to start with our 1s. So 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 9 is 0. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So your final answer on that one is 13. Okay, so those were your first 4. Let me flip my board over here. Okay, so on 5, this is similar to the I believe the second one on the other side, where you're not borrowing from the thousands to start with. So you're going to go over here to the 5, you're going to cross it off, you're going to make it a 4. That's going to become a 10, but then you still have to borrow because you have a 0 there. So that's a 9. That's a 10. So 10 minus 8 is a 2. 9 minus 7 is a 2. Now, on the one before, I had it where you had to borrow here. Since you have 4 and 4, you don't have to borrow. That just can be a 0. And then 9 minus 3 is 6. So your answer on that one is 6,022. Alright, number 6, you have 4,300 minus 3,699. This is going to be a little bit like that one, but there's a little bit of a twist in it. So we're going to start off with the 3. It's our largest number that has value. So we're going to put a 2 there. We're going to turn the 0 into a 10. But then when we look next door, that's a 0 too. So that's a 9. That's a 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 9 is 0. Now, we have 2 minus 6, so again, we're going to have to borrow because we can't take 2 away from 6. That 2 then becomes a 12. So 12 minus 6 is 6. 3 minus 3 is 0. So our final answer is 601. Okay, on this one, we have 9,400 minus 7,775. We're going to start with the 4 because it's our first place value with a number besides 0. So we're going to cross it off. We're going to make it a 3. The 0 becomes a 10. We still need to borrow because we have to subtract over here in the 1s. So you put a 9 up and a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 7 is 2. When we get here then we have 3 and 7. We can't subtract them. So we're going to have to borrow from the 9. This is going to become a 13. 13 minus 7 is 6. 8 minus 7 is 1. So our final answer is 1,625. Drum roll please. Final one. 4,000 minus 245. We go to the 4. We borrow across. We get down here to the 1s. We have our 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 0 is 9. And 3 minus 2 is 1. Final answer, 1,955. Hope you guys did awesome on this. I'm going to throw 1 or 2 more of these out tomorrow. So if you need some more practice, make up some numbers, make up some problems, and we will practice these a little more tomorrow. Have a great night.